Hey Virgo, and welcome to your general tarot reading. This could apply to your sun, moon, rising, or Venus. Please keep in mind that the messages can always resonate vice versa, and to check out your other natal placements as you may find more relevant information there. If you'd like to see the extended to this video along with other content, please check out my Patreon page. I will provide a link below in the description box. I hope to see you there. All right, so Virgo, for your blind spot oracle card, you got number 5, which is bulldozing. I'm going to go ahead and read this. Please suffer, not suffer, but please hang in there with me. I'm sorry if I trip over every word. Anyways, if you have drawn this, you are bulldozing part of yourself in this situation. Consciousness itself functions like water. If you were looking at a river from above, you can see that a large river often branches off into smaller rivers, and each time this happens, there is less water available to the main river. Due to trauma, which occurs in all people's lives with no exception, the question is simply to what degree. Our consciousness splits just like a river does. It splits so that instead of whole, we are fragmented. It is easier to comprehend this process of splitting, that is, fragmentation, in terms of how it affects our being by imagining that when our consciousness splits as the result of trauma, our ego splits in two, and it can do this over and over again. This means even though we have one body, within that body we end up with multiple selves. The best way to picture this is to imagine the inside of your body. You have a collection of Siamese twins. They are technically all conjoined because they all share one body, but each one has its own identity, its own desires, needs, perspective, strengths, weaknesses, and appearances. Some of these internal Siamese twins we like and identify with. Others we disidentify with, suppress, deny, and disown. We have good reason for approving of parts of ourselves and rejecting others, but no matter how we spin it, it means that we are polarized. You have experienced this polarization any time that you come to a place where you have to make a decision and part of you says yes, while another part of you says no. When we are faced with this situation, we usually begin to play a zero-sum game internally. We make a decision so that part of us that says yes has won and part of us that says no has lost. It is as if part of us that is saying no to something is standing in front of a bulldozer being driven by our other part, and instead of creating resolution so that both parts feel in alignment with the choice being made, the one driving the bulldozer simply runs right over the one protesting. This creates an internal atmosphere of distrust. It is that the Siamese twins that we need. The Siamese twins that we tend to bulldoze the most are those that feel fear. We cannot bulldoze our fear without creating more fear. Instead, we need to take loving care of our fear. In this situation, you must consider that the part of you that is being bulldozed exists and is currently holding a very important personal truth that you need to look at instead of ignoring or minimizing. You have important feelings that need to be felt and that need to be met. But you are simply bulldozing forward with the idea that you shouldn't feel those things and shouldn't need those things. If you have drawn this, you are bulldozing a part of yourself in this scenario. That is why you feel like you are moving forward and doing things in spite of yourself. You would be wise to understand that you cannot do this and feel good or manifest anything good at the same time. In this situation, you need to make sure that you move forward on decisions only after you have achieved a state of alignment between your internal Siamese twins. So it looks like you may be being pressured, whether it be like directly pressured or indirectly pressured, like somebody who uses like a passive aggressive technique to make you feel uncomfortable. Okay, so for your cards here, what I am seeing is that you have a visitor or you're going to receive messages. I do think that it's going to be some kind of unexpected visitor or unexpected offer that's going to create some imbalance here of what you are going to be dedicating yourself to and why it is that you dedicate yourself. You could be dealing with a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. It could be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. That's all I see right now for this spread. You're definitely getting ready to go through some kind of change. Be careful that you're not just thinking impulsively. For some reason, this Knight of Wands, like the drum and the fire in her belly, makes me think of fertility. So if you're not ready to get pregnant, be careful. There's somebody here, I almost feel like it may be a friend, who is coming in between you and another relationship or another partnership. Whether it be a committed partnership of in between you and a significant other, like as in a husband or a boyfriend, or you and another important friendship. They may be doing a really good job presenting themselves as being dedicated to you and having all these things that they can offer you, but for some reason I'm feeling like this isn't any good. Like, don't leave something that you're going to end up missing. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, Virgo, with this person. And you may be working for or working with this person. Hold true to yourself. It may be tempting. This may be somebody that you've walked away from in the past, and now they're coming back through to love bomb you and get you to come their way again. This person can be very fun and tempting. It looks like they can be pretty ambitious, probably very attractive. They're going to present themselves as if they've done some kind of self-study and examination and now have figured out where their flaws are at, but that is untrue. They're like, they have a lot of, they have a lot of goals, but they're short-term goals. Like, they don't have any long-term goals. Like, you'll see this person making these plans of like, oh, what's the next step? We move in together. What's the next step? We get married. What's the next step? We have kids. But there's no long-term ambition such as, let's buy a house together. Let's work on our credit together. Like, there's just a lot of, I don't know, like these short-term stepping stones. And once the immediate gratification is gone, this person flips the switch on you. You need to be dedicated to yourself and feeding yourself. Otherwise, you will be drawn back into this. Or it may be that somebody who had left you in the past wants to come back and offer you a new beginning and a commitment. So let's say they walked away from you and dedicated themselves to another person. This person does want to come back because they realize now that they picked the wrong option. I don't know how you're going to feel about that, because I feel like you have grown out of this situation. You are another person and are now like feeding yourself and no longer codependent. Like, whatever trauma happened here was pretty significant. All right, Virgo, I'm going to go ahead and take this on over to the extended reading. If you'd like to join me over there, we're going to kind of dig in further. Who, what, when, where, why. I'd love to have you over there. But if this is where we part ways, be very careful, use your discernment, and I'll catch you later. Bye, Virgo.